Ontario maple syrup, and warm Belgian waffles.
I'm David Keindel. What can you use maple syrup for? You can use it in baked beans, as a pie filling. You can use it to enhance or brush on your slow-cooked ribs, brush it on trout after it's been smoked. It can be eaten on its own as candy or used as an ingredient in candy. And I also make my favorite drink, a Canadian Stinger, with it. As a chef, I love using maple syrup and have been involved in making it for many, many years. In the spring, when the days begin to get warmer, but the nights are still below freezing, we begin by drilling a hole in the maple tree, and we hammer in its oil, hang a bucket to collect the sap as it drips. The sap is then taken to be boiled. It takes about 40 liters of tree sap to make 1 liter of syrup. The sap is boiled vigorously for several hours until it is reduced down to that wonderful golden liquid that everyone loves. Maple syrup is a traditional topping for waffles or pancakes. Here I've made a Belgian-style waffle batter. This batter takes a little longer to make because it includes yeast and requires time to develop. But the results are worth it, with a rich flavor and that distinctive texture. We just need maple syrup now. For our traditional baked bean recipe, we're going to fry up some pork, chop some onions and garlic, combine those with the pork in the Dutch oven. I'm adding some cinnamon, dry mustard, some tomato, and of course some maple syrup, some salt and black pepper. I'll add the pre-boiled beans and cover them with cold water, and into the oven they go. They'll take about 6 hours at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. For the maple glazed dry cured ribs, we're going to mix some maple syrup with some apple cider vinegar and some fresh garlic and reduce it down to make the glaze. While that's reducing, mix up your favorite dry spice rub and coat your ribs very, very generously with the dry rub mixture. Let them sit for a few hours or overnight in the fridge. Then place the ribs in a 230 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 4 hours to let them slow cook, and put a pan underneath to catch the drippings. Reduce the glaze down until it gets to the desired consistency. Then take it off the stove to let it cool. Once the ribs are tender, remove them from the oven and liberally brush on your reduced glaze. Once you've done one side, turn the ribs over and again generously brush your maple garlic glaze on the other side. Increase the oven temperature to 400 Fahrenheit. Place the ribs back in the oven for about 10 minutes. Then remove them and turn them over to put another coating of glaze on. Return them to the 400 degree oven for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then take them out and use the remaining glaze one more time. After letting the ribs rest for 5 to 10 minutes, cut them up and see if you can get some feedback. For the maple lacquered trout, we're going to take some fresh trout and brine it for about 4 hours, then pat it dry and put it in our smoker. Once we've hot smoked the trout to the desired temperature, we'll take it out and generously paint it with fresh maple syrup. And then return it to the smoker to give it that lacquered texture and wonderful exterior. Making taffy is a traditional way to eat syrup. The syrup is boiled down even further, chilled on snow, and then rolled on a stick. Now let's make one of my favorite drinks, a Canadian Stinger.
3/4 of an ounce of genuine maple syrup, 1.5 ounces of cognac. Give it a little shake. Second one is our highball. 1 ounce of genuine Canadian maple syrup. 2 ounces of Canadian rum. This drink is so versatile. Goes on pancakes, goes on ice cream. I drink it with a little bit of butter, hot water. Canadian toddy. Enjoy Taste of Canada. Spring is here.